President Trump lashing out at freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. The Minnesota Democrat is taking heat again, this time for insinuating pro-Israel groups are pushing allegiances to a foreign country, which is widely perceived as an anti-Semitic trope. Tomorrow, the White House is expected to vote on a resolution condemning anti-Semitism. It's a second stinging rebuke to Omar, even though it does not single her out. The president is condemning the Democratic Congresswoman on Twitter. I want to bring in Washington Post columnist Dana Milbank. So, Dana, you have a column out titled "Ilhan Omar is using President Trump's playbook." Explain to us what you mean by that.
Well, look, for American Muslims, above all, have been the victims of this sort of questioning of their loyalty to the country. You've seen it from when the president talked of having, as a candidate, the Muslim ban. You see people on the far right saying, well, they believe in Sharia law and therefore can't serve in government. You see these anti-Sharia laws popping up in most states, and it's all about suggesting that there's divided loyalty there. So I think the irony now is we have Congresswoman Omar doing the same thing in a sense to Jewish Americans by saying that, you know, if you are pro-Israel, you have allegiance to a foreign country. Now, there's certainly nothing wrong with saying, you know, criticizing Israel, you know, get behind blocking foreign aid to Israel. Those sorts of things aren't perceived as anti-Semitic. It's the questioning of the motive, just as she did earlier when she said, you know, support for Israel is all about the Benjamins. It suggests that there's something nefarious going on, and that people who are supportive of Israel, that is largely American Jews, have divided loyalties and are not loyal to America.
It's interesting, though, the way you pointed out how both she and the president are using similar tactics, right? And as we look at this on both sides of the aisle, there is a lot of finger pointing. There is a lot of whataboutism. You have the president calling out Representative Omar, but essentially ignoring Congressman Steve King. On the Democratic side, some people are calling out Omar, ignoring Mark Meadows. Some are doing the opposite and supporting Omar, calling out Meadows as well. And then there's this tweet, which came earlier today from another freshman Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who wrote, if House leadership is creating a standard and committing to calling a resolution for every incident, whether it's the Congressional Black Caucus, CHC, etc., then that's a clear way to address the issue, and we can all understand. But if they're not, I think it's valid to ask why not. And it brings up almost a two-part issue here, right? Is it going to be a resolution for every single comment that's made? And if so, will that be the standard? If not, can Congress actually come up with some sort of a uniform standard? What's your thinking on that?
Well, first of all, I think the most important thing would be for Congresswoman Omar to see the point that people are making, rather than being this a matter of rebuke and her resisting this. That would be far preferable. It is true that there are different standards for the two parties. The same this weekend as this was going on, you had the President of the United States saying certain foreign-born members of Congress, presumably talking about Omar, hate America. So that's virtually identical. Now, the things the President has done, even some anti-Semitic things, talking about globalists, showing images of prominent American Jews as he does this, and as he's gone after Muslims and others, this has largely been embraced, or at least tacitly accepted by the Republican Party. So I do think the Democrats are holding her to a higher standard than Republicans have been holding themselves. I think that's probably also true on Me Too and other things. The question is, should Democrats do the same thing Republicans have been doing, sort of circle the wagons and basically look the other way because they're a member of the tribe? And I think that it's probably worthwhile to hold yourself to a higher standard.
Dana Milbank, always good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Erica.